Greetings, audiophile and fellow citizens of the Earth. My name's Chris Barker. I'm with the DC Hi-Fi Group, back with another video. A little different this time from my usual videos where I like to do DIY. This one's more of a kind of a quick review infomercial about a new amplifier I just received. I'm very excited about it. The amplifier is from VTV Amplifier, a US outfit run by a person named Warren Coleman. He's producing amplifiers using several Class D modules of your choice, including Pascal, the Hypex Encore, and the subject of today's review, I purchased the VTV stereo amp with the Purifi amplifier module known as, let me consult my notes here, I've got so much to tell you, from ETV. It's called the Untitled module, and it's the 1ET400A. The specifications I'll put up on the screen for you to see are pretty outstanding for this amplifier. 425 watts at 1% THD into 4 ohms. Dynamic range 131 dB. It was recently tested at the Audio Science Review and had a 105 synad or synad, however you pronounce it, which puts this amplifier module close to the top of all amplifiers ever measured there. The top amplifier currently is the benchmark AHB2 with a synad of 113. So this is within spitting distance, as they say, of that standard. This is a very quiet, very powerful amplifier and Class D, so it's highly efficient as well. Efficiency of greater than 94%. All of this available to you from VTV amplifiers for a little over $1,000 depending on your configuration. I decided to go with the standard Hypex input module configuration. You can get other input modules from VTV which allow you possibly to customize your op-amp choice. For example, if you want to do some op-amp rolling. I wanted to stay as pure as possible, so I stuck with the Hypex module. Back to Purifi for a little bit. Purifi is the brainchild of one Bruno Putzi, a Belgian engineer who's getting quite a lot of notice in the audio design circles of late. He is the inventor of the Encore Hypex module that many Class D amplifiers are using today. He's developed a bunch of AD and D to A converters, including designs for Grimm and Mola Mola, another very high-performing amplifier and DAC, and also the key audio speakers, active loudspeakers. He's involved, a co-founder apparently as well. As I say, this 1ET400A module is being sold and incorporated into many different amplifier designs. Most recently, NAD has licensed these modules and including them in their most recent amplifiers, which are also getting very good reviews under this Untitled, which apparently means self-clocking in German, whatever that means. This amplifier, I think, is very impressive for the money. I would say if you're casting about for your next amplifier or just simply want to make a very good choice, this could be a real special one for you to consider. VTV is, I believe, right now the only company in the US that is building these amplifiers to spec. And because most of the other modules that are being incorporated in other amplifiers are typically being built over in Europe. I think the company NOR is one, and then there's also a company in Australia, March Audio, apparently is also working with these modules. So if you're in the US, I think it's most cost efficient to purchase from VTV. Down the road, I have heard rumors that a company called Gen Audio out of China, who are very renowned for building cases for Class D amplifiers along with wiring kits. May be coming out with a case and wiring kit for the Purifi modules. In fact, Purifi is also selling a evaluation board that includes an input board that you can buy. But right now, getting a case for that is a little bit difficult, and it looks like GAN Audio might be the source to solve that. So you would combine basically a GAN Audio kit case with this Eval 1 Purifi board, which is basically the same 1ET400A module, two of them in a stereo configuration, and then you would add a Hypex power supply, and you could have build yourself your own amplifier, much like you can do with ICE power amplifiers today. Again, approximately in the $1,000 plus category. I'm really impressed that VTV is able to build these amplifiers at really very little markup compared to what a DIYer would have to spend to put it together themselves. And they offer a 30-day trial and a 2-year warranty. I would, if you're interested, I would definitely check out their website. I'll include links to all of this information below. So I've literally just had this installed for about an hour. You have a time lapse with me and do the installation. I swapped out my Mytek Class D amplifier, which is using the Pascal modules, Class D modules. That's a very good amplifier and amazing for its size. Puts out an amazing amount of power. And I've been very happy with my setup using that. Keep in mind, I've only had this amplifier from VTV for an hour or so, I only want to give a cursory review. But its sound was as equal, I would say, to the Mytek amplifier, if not better. Certainly, it's quite a bit quieter, according to the measurements at Audio Science Review, than the Mytek. I think the Mytek came in about an 87 SINAD, and as I said, it's 105 for the Purifi module. So I'm very impressed with this amplifier right off the bat. Time will tell if it meets all my requirements, but I think, again, if you're looking for amplification and are open-minded, some people have concerns or questions about Class D. I personally think Class D is coming on strong and will be the future of a lot of audiophile amplification going forward if products like the Purifi 1ET400A module are anything to go by. So that's my basic review. I guess I can mention some of the listening tracks I listened to. I was listening to a lot of vocal tracks, which I think are very good tests to really nail down a system early on. If you don't get the vocals right, because our ears are so sensitive to the voice, the rest of the system is going to fail, I think. So the voice is critical. Listen to things. I was just listening to the new Effie O'Donovan Bullfrogs Croon EP, which is one of my albums of the year of 2020. It's an amazing album of string quartet music with vocal and guitar and poetry. Very good album. Very good album. Also listened to the great German trumpeter Till Bronner, who has a great album called The Good Life, where he kind of channels Chet Baker, and it's impeccably recorded and it sounded fantastic. Another good test I've been using lately is possibly an old audiophile favorite from years ago on the BIS label, Swedish record label. It's the Chromata percussion ensemble with Louis Belson on drums and the jazz concerto. This has a very good sounding and recording of a jazz drummer, and the ambience of this recording is very large, and on a good system it really is incredible. I was looking at Roon, which is what I use to stream all of my music, and it has a loudness unit or LUFS rating of 22, which is a very large dynamic range. Most recordings, especially pop recordings today, will have a loudness unit or LUFS rating of 5 or 6, certainly under 10. So they are very compressed for the most part and do not have a wide dynamic range. So having a dynamic range of exceeding 20 or 22 is exceptional. And this is a 16-bit CD recording, amazingly enough. It's not even a high-res recording. So that's a great test track if you want to look up that particular one. I'm very impressed off the bat. I think this is a very good value, and I don't think you'll go too far wrong, especially with a 30-day in-home trial. Give it a try. So that's me, Chris Barker, with DC Hi-Fi Group, and I hope you found this a little bit interesting, a little bit different, and I'll try to do some more of these as I get new products that come in. I'll talk about briefly my system. Everybody's always curious. We audiophiles are very curious, and since I've got my system kind of on display here, I'll talk about this is my living room system. So I guess we'll start at the top. I've got a VPI Classic 2 turntable with an upgraded 3D printed arm, and a recent purchase was the Soundsmith Ada cartridge, and that's a very nice turntable. You may be amazed that I've actually got 3 turntables running here. I do like my turntables, and I have a Rega RP8 here with the Benz Microglider cartridge that I had retipped by Soundsmith. And maybe if you can see over here, I have yet another turntable that I'm very happy with. This is a Rega, started life as a Rega turntable, and I completely rebuilt it with a company called SRM Tech out of England with their Azure upgrade kit for Rega turntables. Maybe I'll do a whole video on this sometime. Very nice kit. I think really elevates a typical low-cost Rega turntable, if you're so inclined. Down below here, kind of the heart of the system, I'm running a Benchmark DAC 2, and I have a Project CD player, which I never use, but it's there if I need it, because I do all my streaming through Roon. And streaming through Roon is handled by an Allo Digital USB signature, which is kind of like a souped-up Raspberry Pi for my streaming. I also have for phono work, is a Parks Audio Puffin DSP-based phono preamp. This is it could be the subject of a whole nother video as well. This is a phono preamp that takes the analog phono cartridge signal and immediately digitizes it, and then does all of the RIAA equalization in the digital domain. This product has over 24 parameters that one can adjust to optimize the sound. Again, I think it should be a subject of a whole video unto itself, but I'll put links to Parks Audio as well. I have the new PS Audio Stellar Phono preamp, another very nice preamp, getting some good notices recently. And then I finally have the VTV amplifier sitting down below. A little probably dark in this picture, but I had some glamour shots you saw at the beginning of the video. And all of this is running right now my Magnapan LRS speakers with the airborne stands that I purchased as well. Again, these retail for about $700 to ship to your door. Magnapan LRS speakers are probably the best hi-fi value under $1,000 in speakers if you want to explore the whole dipole sound, which is very unique. You may notice some other speakers in the back aren't hooked up. Those are KEF R300s. Very good speakers, but I'm pretty enamored of the LRSs, so they lay dormant right now. So I think that's about it. I'll think of something else, I'm sure. But hopefully you enjoyed this little video insight into an interesting amplifier maker, something to look into, and a little insight into one of my home systems. And hopefully I'll have more of these to come as time and motivation permit. So again, Chris Barker with the VTV Hi-Fi Group, signing out.